Chadwick Aaron Boseman was born on November 29, 1976, in Anderson, South Carolina, to a family that, while not initially inclined towards the arts, laid the foundation for his extraordinary journey. His father, Leroy Boseman, worked in the textile industry, and his mother, Carolyn Boseman, was a nurse. Chadwick grew up as the youngest of 3 children, in a family that emphasized education, hard work, and perseverance, traits that would shape his future success. As a child in Anderson, Chadwick faced the harsh realities of racism and discrimination, which were prevalent in the American South. He spoke often of the challenges he endured, from being taunted and belittled at school to being subjected to the systemic racism that was all too familiar to African Americans at the time. In several interviews, Chadwick recounted walking to school only to be verbally attacked for no reason other than his race. Despite these early difficulties, Chadwick's resilience and determination became apparent. He would often say that he felt the weight of the world's prejudices on his shoulders, but instead of allowing them to crush his spirit, he used them as motivation to rise above and succeed. Chadwick's childhood wasn't just about struggles, it was also about discovering his talents. He developed an interest in the arts at an early age, participating in school plays and local theater productions. This passion for storytelling would later become his driving force. However, his love for basketball was just as strong. During his high school years, he was an accomplished athlete, excelling in the sport. But a tragedy, the death of a close friend, shifted his focus from sports to the arts. This moment of loss pushed Chadwick to pursue acting, and it was in this period that he began to realize the power of storytelling. After high school, Chadwick decided to pursue a career in the arts, attending Howard University in Washington, D.C. There, he studied directing and playwriting. His time at Howard was transformative, both in terms of education and mentorship. It was at Howard that Chadwick met his mentor, actress Felicia Rashad, who would later help guide him through the early stages of his acting career. It was also during this time that he realized his potential in acting. Although he initially had an interest in becoming a director or playwright, Chadwick quickly found that acting was his true calling. He graduated from Howard in 2000, and his next step was to move to New York City and pursue his dream. Chadwick's journey to Hollywood was not an easy one. Upon moving to New York, he faced the typical struggles of any young actor, working multiple jobs to make ends meet while trying to break into the industry. He spent time performing in off-Broadway plays, taking classes, and auditioning for television roles. His early work included guest spots on TV shows such as Law and Order and Third Watch. These roles were small, but they provided him with valuable experience and exposure. However, Chadwick was determined to find a breakthrough. His big break came when he was cast as the legendary Jackie Robinson in the biographical film 42, 2013. Playing Robinson, the first African American to break the color barrier in Major League Baseball, was a monumental role. Chadwick had to undergo rigorous training to portray Robinson, spending months perfecting his swing and mannerisms. The film, directed by Brian Helgeland, was a huge success both critically and commercially. Chadwick's portrayal of Robinson was praised for its authenticity, depth, and emotional resonance. He was able to capture the strength and courage of Robinson, a man who faced immense adversity both on and off the field. Following 42, Chadwick's star continued to rise, and he was cast in another major biographical film, Get On Up, 2014, where he portrayed the iconic musician James Brown. Much like his portrayal of Robinson, Chadwick immersed himself fully into the role, studying Brown's music, dancing, and performance style. He even spent hours each day rehearsing the moves that would later be seen on the screen. His performance in Get On Up was met with widespread acclaim, and he solidified his status as one of the most talented and versatile actors of his generation. Chadwick Boseman's life and career would reach its pinnacle when he was cast as T'Challa, the Black Panther, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. In 2016, Chadwick made his first appearance as T'Challa in Captain America: Civil War. The film introduced audiences to the character, and Chadwick's performance as the Wakandan king was met with immediate praise. However, it was in Black Panther, 2018, that T'Challa became a global icon. Directed by Ryan Coogler, Black Panther was more than just a superhero film. It was a cultural landmark. The film not only broke box office records, grossing over $1.3 billion worldwide, but it also became a cultural phenomenon. It was the first superhero film to be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture, and it received multiple nominations, including Best Original Score. The film celebrated African culture and Black identity in ways that had never been done before in Hollywood. Chadwick's portrayal of T'Challa was powerful, dignified, and filled with emotional depth. His character was not just a superhero, he was a king, a leader, and a symbol of empowerment for Black communities worldwide. The film's success was a testament to Chadwick's dedication to the role and his commitment to representing Black excellence. He was not just playing a character, he was embodying a legacy, a culture, and a people. For many, Black Panther was more than just a film. It was a movement, and Chadwick Boseman became the face of that movement. His performance resonated with audiences of all ages and backgrounds, particularly African Americans, who had long been underrepresented in Hollywood superhero films. Chadwick had given the world a hero who was proud of his heritage, his identity, and his people. Chadwick Boseman was known for his humility, integrity, and commitment to social justice. Despite his rising fame, he kept his personal life private and rarely sought attention from the media. He was a man of deep faith and often spoke about the importance of family and community. Chadwick was also deeply involved in activism, using his platform to speak out against racial injustice and inequality. Beyond his work in film, Chadwick was passionate about mentoring young people, particularly aspiring Black actors. He encouraged them to follow their dreams, regardless of the obstacles they faced. He believed in the power of storytelling to change the world, and he worked tirelessly to ensure that future generations of Black artists had the opportunity to thrive. Chadwick was also deeply involved in charity work. He supported a number of organizations, including the United Negro College Fund, UNCF, and other initiatives focused on education, racial justice, and helping underprivileged youth. He was a man who understood the importance of giving back and lifting others up, even as he reached the heights of his own success. In 2016, Chadwick was diagnosed with colon cancer, but he kept his battle with the disease private. For 4 years, he continued to work on major film projects, including Black Panther and the Avengers films, all while undergoing surgeries and chemotherapy. His strength and determination to keep working despite his illness were nothing short of extraordinary. He kept his diagnosis a secret from the public, choosing to continue living and working as normal, even as his health deteriorated. On August 28, 2020, the world was devastated by the news of Chadwick Boseman's death. He passed away at the age of 43, after a 4-year battle with colon cancer. His death was a complete shock to the world, as many had no idea that he was ill. The news sent shockwaves through Hollywood, the Marvel community, and millions of fans around the world. The outpouring of grief and tributes from celebrities, colleagues, and fans was overwhelming. For many, Chadwick was more than just an actor, he was a symbol of hope, strength, and resilience. His role as T'Challa had inspired countless people, particularly in the Black community, and his passing felt like the loss of a hero. Fellow actors, including his Marvel co-stars, expressed their sorrow at his passing, with many sharing personal stories of how Chadwick had impacted their lives. In Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, 2022, Marvel chose to honor his legacy by not recasting the role of T'Challa, a decision that resonated deeply with fans. Chadwick Boseman's legacy transcends his work on screen. He was a trailblazer who used his platform to bring attention to issues of racial injustice, representation, and the need for greater diversity in Hollywood. His portrayal of T'Challa was groundbreaking, and Black Panther will continue to be remembered as one of the most culturally significant films in history. Through his work, Chadwick inspired generations of young people, particularly Black youth, to see themselves as heroes and leaders. His advocacy for racial equality and his dedication to portraying powerful, dignified characters changed the landscape of Hollywood and opened doors for future generations of Black actors. Chadwick's legacy will live on through his work, his activism, and the countless lives he touched. He was not just an actor, he was a hero, both on and off the screen. His impact will continue to be felt for years to come, and he will forever be remembered as a symbol of strength, grace, and courage.